Beware the chill that haunts your dreams. That's how they see scary stories, right? They're like, beware the lights that follow you at night. Here are the top three scary stories about bounce houses.
Oh right, I forgot to join the comments. Hold on.
All right, Casper, have a good night. Victor scaring chat. Narami's Wi-Fi is being scary. Yes, Belle. Yes. Hi, Carlin. Welcome in. Carlene? Should I call Carlene or Carlin?
Okay, now chat should be working.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Scary Story. Enjoying everyone's
Hi
worst
guys.
nightmare. Welcome to the dark side of the moon you wish you didn't have to visit. Here are the top 5 scary stories about burglaries
And
or something.
taxes.
Ta- you just wouldn't get it. You just wouldn't get it. This
What is
music
it?
banging. I gotta turn this up. Hang on. I'm like jamming out to like scary stories music.
Is it really copyright free, Vix?
Uh, yes,
How do you
because it's
know?
used in YouTube videos. Because they're all made by a copyright-free YouTube channel.
But what if they're lying?
Okay, well, Nexpo uses it in all of his videos, so I don't know if that's a good sign, but I assume they use it because it's copyright-free, and it says it in the description.
It just
So
it just says next one background music.
read the description of the YouTube videos. I swear to God.
Okay. Okay, we did that. Good. Okay, now do you wanna start?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Narami's stream, in the link in the description, you can watch as she draws what I'm going to now read. A story of nightmares, ghouls, and goblins. And of course, man's best friend. This story is by the underscore white mare. The description goes, my sister brought home a stray dog. There's something terribly wrong with it. Join me as we begin. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sit back, relax, grab your snacks, and get ready for this spooky, scary Sunday. I miss you, Court Kenshin. Please come back. Anyways. Now this music doesn't match it. I want this one. It had been raining for most of the day. Yesterday's forecast was for a light shower, but this was torrential. I peeked out of the window, and in the darkness of the late afternoon, I could see a river of rainwater cascading down either side of the street. My parents were getting worried about my sister. Emily had spent the day at a friend's house and was supposed to be back an hour ago. Just as my dad was about to get in his car and go for a drive around the block to find her, the front door opened. Emily walked in dressed in her yellow raincoat. Much to my parents' chagrin, she was holding onto the worn collar of an old, soaking wet dog. The thing was a mongrel, but I could make out the Alsatian in it. Alsatian? It's probably a dog breed. Maybe some
Probably.
golden retriever. As I tried to work it out, I made a mental note to put dog breeder down on my list of career interests for school. My parents exchanged apprehensive glances at Emily, smiled awkwardly, and explained how she found him, shivering in the rain on the side of the road. There was something about its eyes, she said, that made her instantly feel sorry for the poor guy. My dad knelt by the dog and had a look at its collar. It was battered its red color fading, and it had no name, phone number, or address written on it. My father stood up with a sigh and told Emily that he'd bring the mutt to the vet on Thursday to see if it had been chipped, and, for the 5 days until then, looking after it would be her responsibility. Emily beamed at my dad and took the dog into the kitchen to towel it down. Later on that evening, she brought it back into the living room and informed us that his name was Buster. My father warned against getting too attached, but she didn't listen. She spent the rest of the day playing with Buster and sending pictures of him to her friends. That night, Buster slept on a makeshift bed of old blankets and cardboard in the kitchen. My parents prayed that he wouldn't make a mess of the place at night. Emily hugged Buster and gave him another treat before rushing off to her room. In the morning, all was well. It looked like Buster hadn't moved an inch. The dopey guy barely looked at us when we crowded into the kitchen for breakfast. Immediately, Emily knelt beside him, rubbing his tummy and stroking his fur. See, this is how I wish I was treated. I think Emily was too afraid of taking Buster for a walk, just in case she bumped into his owners and they dragged him away from her. The garden had been turned to mud the day before, and there wasn't a chance in hell that my mother would let that dog back in the house if we had a trace of muck on his paws. So he, like the rest of us, spent that day cooped up inside. Not that he seemed to mind. My dad cooked up a lamb chop for Buster that night. At Emily's request, it was the most animated I've seen him. His eyes lit up as it was placed in front of him, and we all erupted into laughter as he tore into it. That night, I jolted awake. The radio alarm clock on my bedside cabinet informed me, an analog red light, that it was 4:37. I lay there, but quickly began to fall back to sleep. As I could have sworn I heard something moving around in the hallway. I assumed it was my dad, stumbling to the bathroom, in a drunken stupor, and for the second time that night, sleep took me. I spent most of the day. Oops, sorry. I just had a brain fart. Sorry. I spent most of the day hanging out with friends around town. We rode our bikes, threw stones at the windows of the old house on Mill Street, and dared each other to shoplift from the local off-brand gas station. I made off with a packet of apple-flavored chewing gum. When I came home, things felt different, hostile. I didn't want to ask what happened, but before I could slink off to my room, my mother told me Emily had accidentally knocked over my grandma's urn while playing with Buster in front of the room. I suppressed a chuckle at the thought of how much trouble she'd be getting in. Mature of me, I know. That evening, there was silence around the dinner table, broken only by Buster's whining. I woke up again that night. This time, I swung myself out of bed. My mouth was dry and my breath left a stale taste at the back of my throat. I wandered downstairs to the kitchen to get a glass of water. I tried to be as silent as possible, not wanting to disturb the sleeping dog. Buster slept soundly in his little bed, and I knew a freight train was going to pass wouldn't wake him. I poured a glass of water and drank it in a continuous gulp. Then, an idea came to me. I crouched by the cabinet my dad kept his whiskey in. I opened it, trying not to let the hinges creak. I picked out a bottle and stood up. I gently unscrewed the cap and took a sip. Coughed and choked and sputtered. As I went for another sip, I heard movement upstairs. I knew my father would kill me if he caught me drinking. I hastily put the cap back on and placed it back in the cupboard. I speed walked out of the kitchen, desperate not to make a noise. Just before I began descending the stairs, I had the door to my parents' room open. I quickly turned around and hid in the living room. I heard my father walk down the stairs and into the kitchen. My heart was beating like a tribal drum as I hurried out of the living room and I stepped, agonizingly loud, up each creaky step back to my bedroom. I thought I had made it, but just as I was pushing my bedroom door open, I heard a voice behind me. It was my father. He'd popped his head out of his bedroom. He asked if it was me moving around. and I told him that I had just gone downstairs to get a glass of water. He told me to keep it down, and before he retreated back into the darkness of his room, I saw my mother stirring in the bed behind him. He closed the door. That morning, I woke up with a migraine. Nothing too major, but it was a drawback from what would have otherwise been a great day. My sister was at some dance club, my mother was visiting the solicitor in town, and my father had gone golfing. On this rare occasion, I had the house to myself. Well, me and the dog. I found a strongly worded note on the kitchen table when I woke up. It was left by Emily, telling me how I should feed and entertain Buster while she was gone. I crumpled it up and attempted to throw it into the bin from across the room, missing horribly. I made myself the unhealthiest breakfast I could think of. I took it into the living room to eat while I settled down to watch a film, Dan O'Bannon's Friday Night Funkin'. That's how that's how I spent the morning. Excuse me. Later on, I took an empty plate into the kitchen. I figured if my mother saw that I cleaned the dishes, she wouldn't be as critical when she found the crumbs. I walked past Buster, who was slumped in an unusual stop in the corner of the room, on a bed of now dirty sheets. In a joking manner, I asked him how his day was while I washed up. Obviously, I got no reply. I remembered my sister's note and set a half-dried glass down while I fetched Buster some treats. I didn't know where Emily kept them, so I grabbed a slice of overly processed ham from the fridge. I crouched beside him and dangled it in front of his snout, teasing him. There was no response. No slow opening of the eyelids, no methodic wag of the tail. There were no signs of life at all. I gasped and put my hand on his stomach, trying to feel it rise with his breath, or a heartbeat, anything. To my horror, his abdomen began to compress when I did, like a limp, deflating balloon. He felt hollow, empty. I scrambled to my feet and stumbled backwards. As I put my hand on the counter, I knocked over a glass. It shattered to the kitchen floor, but Buster didn't so much as flinch. I panicked and ran up to my room. I took my phone from my bedside cabinet and hastily rang my mother. It rang for a brief moment. Before she picked up, I managed to stutter out that there was something wrong with the dog, that it was an emergency. She assured me that she had just picked up Emily and would be home in 10 minutes. And with that, she hung up. I set my phone down and paced around the room. As I was thinking, I heard a noise coming from the first floor. It sounded like something moving around. I assumed it was my mother, home earlier than she estimated. I made my way downstairs to greet her, hurrying over to the creaking steps. There was no one. The door was still locked, and I, as far as I knew, was alone in the house. I heard the now familiar wag of Buster's tail as he came bounding up to me from the hall. I looked at him puzzled as he nestled his head into my leg. I stroked him behind the ears as he mewed low. I then heard the equally familiar jangling of
Amazing
keys as the
stream,
front door
guys.
was
Vix
unlocked.
should add an echo
My
like
mother
he's in a
stepped
cave.
inside, pumping her umbrella. Emily, who was close behind her, ran to Buster and dropped to her knees as soon as she saw him. She hugged him tight and whispered in his flea-bitten ear. I could see her eyes were red, raw from crying. My mother asked me what the big emergency was, and I paused before answering. I explained that he had been unresponsive, but he seems fine now. My mother let out a long, drawn-out sigh as she made her way past us into the kitchen. She called my name, frustrated when she saw the broken shards of glass on the kitchen floor. I had forgotten about that. Emily spent the rest of the day in her room with the dog, and at dinner, neither me or my mother mentioned anything about Buster's false alarm. We just let my dad witter on about improving his backswing, whatever that meant. For the third night in a row, I jolted awake in the small hours of the morning. I groaned at the abrupt ending of a good dream, tossing and turning until I found a comfy position. As I tried to get back to sleep, I began to feel a presence. It was the feeling you get during an awkward silence, when you become painfully aware of the other person. I sat up in bed and rubbed my eyes, trying to adjust them to the darkness. There was someone in the corner of my room. I was certain of it. I can make out the vague shadow-covered silhouette standing just beyond the foot of my bed. I was almost paralyzed with fear, but my right hand managed to creep over to my bedside cabinet. I fumbled as I felt for the familiar switch of the lamp, and just before I turned it on, the figure in my room bolted. I recoiled in shock as I realized my half-asleep mind had been right. Someone had been standing there, watching as the moon emerged from a bank of clouds. My room was briefly lit with a dull glow. In that half-light, I saw the outline of a tall man slink out of my room and into the darkness of the hall. I didn't realize I was screaming until my father burst into my room moments later. He switched on the lights, which burned my eyes. He held me and asked what was wrong, and with snot and tears dripping down my face, I managed to stutter out that there had been someone in my room. At this, my dad turned and ran back into his room. His caring embrace was quickly replaced with my mother's. He emerged with a baseball bat in his hands, grasping it so hard his knuckles were white. My mother went to check on Emily. She made me come with her. Not wanting to let her children out of her sight, she barged into Emily's room. She was already awake. Sitting upright in bed, my mother fired a barrage of questions at her. Dazed, Emily told us that she hadn't seen anything. My father came into the room 10 minutes later. He informed us that he did a sweep of the house and found nothing. No signs of a break-in, no mysterious intruder. He brought me back to my room. Once I was in bed, he sat by my side and explained to me that I probably just had a bad dream. Excuse me. He said there was nothing to be afraid of, and joked that if someone did break into the house, they'd soon be scared off by Buster, the world's greatest guard dog. Eventually, I mustered the courage to fall back asleep. The next morning, everyone in the family was noticeably tired, even the dog. We greeted each other with yawns and joked about the previous night's events. Now, I didn't know that this was the start of the last truly happy day of my life. My parents went out shopping. Emily took Buster for his first proper walk, and I spent most of the day gaming. It was a normal day. I've had dozens just like it. We had chicken breast and bland steamed vegetables for dinner. Wednesday was family night, so after dinner we came together in the living room to play a board game. Tonight it was Cluedo. Buster was curled up at Emily's feet. My father thought it was a good time to remind her that tomorrow he was bringing the dog to the vet, and would hopefully reunite him with his real owners. At this, Emily screamed that she was his real owner. She stormed out of the room, Buster following close behind. As soon as she slammed the door behind her, my dad sighed. He said he knew my sister would get to attach that dog. This was the sour note the day ended on. At 10, I did my usual routine. Brushed my teeth, charged into my pajamas, and listened to music for half an hour or so before turning over and going to sleep. As I expected, I woke up again in the middle of the night. This time, I was too afraid to move. Too afraid to open my eyes and see what could be lurking in my room. Instead, I kept them tightly shut and tried desperately to go back to sleep. After laying in bed for what felt like hours, but must have only been 20 minutes, I decided to open my eyes. I was filled with a directionless dread as I slowly peeped over my duvet. Since I had woken up, I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that I was being watched. And as I pulled the covers away from my face, I saw who had been staring at me. My bedroom door was wide open, and sitting perfectly still in the doorway was Buster. His head was craned slightly and looking directly at me. I chuckled to myself, realizing that I had been terrified over nothing. I swung my legs out of bed and got up. I took Buster by the collar and began to lead him back downstairs to his bed. And as I walked down the hall, I noticed that the door to my sister's room was ajar. I brought Buster into the kitchen and watched as he lay down on the crumpled mess of cardboard and old blankets that he slept on. I smiled as he slumped his head and onto his paws and closed his dreary eyes. I wouldn't exactly call him my best friend, but I'd miss him after tomorrow. I turned to leave, to crawl back into bed and finally get some rest, but something caught my eye from out of the kitchen window. I leaned against the sill and looked out into the cold of night. The moon was a perfect crescent, half hidden by the clouds. Light pollution from the nearby city robbed the sky of stars, but as I stared into the darkness, I caught a glimpse of a shooting star. As I gazed in awe to see if I could see another one, I saw someone. There was a person leaning against the fence along our driveway. I quickly realized it was Emily. I could make much out in the darkness, but I could see that she looked nervous. I was about to open the window and call out to her when I heard something behind me. I realized, turning around, it was coming from the dog. I assumed he had yelped in his sleep, maybe stuck in some bad dream, but then I noticed something else. His skin was moving. Rather, there was something moving around just under the surface of his skin. I didn't have time to think what it could be before I saw the long crimson red fingers protrude from his stomach. They grabbed onto either side of the now gaping wound and parted his abdomen like curtains. Once the opening was wide enough, the unnaturally long arm reached out, snaking across the kitchen floor until it grabbed the dining table's leg. It held onto it tightly as it began to pull the rest of it out. I couldn't comprehend how something so large could have fit inside of the animalistic facade, and eventually it was fully out and stood upright. The figure must have been at least 3 meters tall, hunched over where it met the ceiling. It looked like it had been skinned. Its lanky body was made up of exposed sinew and muscle. The thing's eyes were milk white and bulging out of its vaguely dog-shaped head. It was grotesque. With a streak of urine running down my leg, I turned around and ran as fast as I could upstairs.
Don't laugh.
I, I, I burst into my parents' bedroom, and stood in front of their bed, screaming and wailing about some monster. They were both shaken awake at my outpour of terror. My father was calm at first. He tried to sit me down and tell me it had all been a bad dream. Like the night before, I pushed him away and tried to articulate between screams. And there was a monster downstairs and we had to leave. My father quickly became furious. His anger at me was only amplified by his tiredness. He grabbed my shaking hand and began to shout that at 14 I was too old for this, for any of this. But I was hysterical, and his attempt at reasoning did nothing. As I kept on wailing, he and my mother began to half lead, half drag me back into my own room. Kicking and screaming, I fell to the bedroom floor, and I jolted at the noise of the slamming of my door and got to my feet. With tears streaking down my red cheeks, I pounded the door. I heard my father's voice on the other side pleading with me to calm down. Our shouting reached a fever pitch, and then silence. We both stopped and listened out for the repetition of the noise that had brought our heated argument to an end. The dull thudding noise came again, this time accompanied by a shrill creak. I realized it was the sound of something climbing the stairs. I took a tentative step back as the noise drew closer and closer. In a weak voice, I heard my father stutter, "What? What are you?" I knew what he had seen. I spent the last 11 years blocking out the memory of what came next. There was screaming and pleading, the sound of flesh ripping and bone shattering. I sat motionless on the carpet of my bedroom, floor as viscous blood began seeping in under the door. The sounds of carnage stopped and I held my breath as still as there was perfect silence again. This silence was broken by the sound of my door slowly creaking open. I was petrified with fear. I could do anything, couldn't move, couldn't scream, couldn't breathe. The thing opened my door a crack before stopping. The slowly thudding noise returned as it walked away from the scene till I couldn't hear anything anymore. I stayed welded to the spot for a minute or two. Grief hit me like a bus. I began to cry until my eyes were raw. I stood up and took my phone from my bedside cabinet. I dialed 911 and desperately tried to explain what happened. I glanced out of my window and my jaw went slack. Walking down the middle of our streets was the creature, caked in blood, in the same shade as taut skin. Holding its hand and walking next to it was Emily. She stared up at it with affection. The two were illuminated by the streetlights, and I saw that the creature was holding the fursuit that it had once been Buster in the talons of its other hand. I watched as they walked down the street, across the sidewalk, and into the forest that surrounded my neighborhood. That was the last time I saw my sister. Within the hour, the police came. They cordoned off the area and took me in. I spent the next few years in foster care. The official statement they had given was that it was a kidnapping gone wrong. Only I and the officers and coroner who saw my parents' remains knew that it was something much more sinister. That was 11 years ago. Tonight, I finished writing this before I began a journey that I should have undertaken a long, long time ago. Emily is still out there somewhere, and I'm going to find her. That, ladies and gentlemen, was the story my sister brought home a stray dog, and there's something terribly wrong with it. What do you think? Pretty scary? Pretty spooky?
You're asking me or the audience?
Ah! The dog is gross!
Wait, who said that?
No, that was me. I was just saying.
What do you think about the story, Vix?
I thought it was pretty good. I
It
mean,
was.
scary dog, I guess.
Emily's kind of
Lamau.
stupid.
Darrow said, Lamau, motherfucker, lost all of his family to a stray dog. Oh no! He's a golden retriever!
I don't know if she thought she had a new
Oh, you're
boyfriend.
shaking. You're
Just
shaking.
but the fact that she was just like walking hand in hand around with this fucking creature.
Yeah, why though? It's my dog.
Yeah.
Girl, that ain't a dog. That's a skin man. Oh, sorry, a skinless man.
She's a little bit slow. Give her a little bit of time.
Is she slow? I'm wondering, was she slow? Was she possessed? Like what gave her? There's no way she just was like, oh, a red hairless demon? No, we look like we could be good friends.
I think it's just like one of those cases where you like there is no explanation to why.
Until like she finds her, I guess.
Do you think there's gonna be a part 2?
I hope so. I mean, this was a newly made story, so they might as well run with it. It better not turn into Twilight, where it's like, I fell in love with him because he was beautiful.
No, I don't think...
He glimmered in the sunlight, his red blood skin.
I do not think he's beautiful. That's not the case here.
Well, I imagine, like, giant, like a red, like, meaty skull. I imagine, like, bulging eyes, pure white, no pupils.
They did not mention any eyes. That's why I didn't draw any eyes. He did?
He did mention eyes.
He
yeah,
mentioned
milky white eyes.
Milky white.
Yeah.
Does milky white mean completely white?
Milky means pure white, yeah, nothing else there. You didn't read that? You didn't hear that part?
I don't know. I was wondering. I did not hear about him talking about eyes.
You know, it is. So I kind of imagine in like the I don't know if you know about this, like the carnivorous world or whatever, where there's like meat snakes and stuff. But I kind of imagine it looking like one of the mimics, where it looks human-esque, but it's, you know, it's obviously not. It's kind of how I imagine it.
I don't.
Yeah, it was a good story, nevertheless. I think it had a lot of appeal to it. What do you think?
I think it was nice. I think it was good.
Did we do the other story?
If we should do the other story now?
Yeah. Do you want to finish your drawing or what you're working on? And
I think I wanted just to finish the doc in the background. Until then, you like, guys, like, what do you? Chad, what do you think about this story?
Chad, what do you think about this story? Did you think it was super scary?
Vix, did you tweak out or something? No. No. I'm not tweaking. Sorry, I stopped drawing. I had to focus on reading. Reading and like, I have ADHD, but I can't read and draw. It's hard.
Yeah, that's why I'm the one drawing. So also Cole donated and said, "Amazing stream, guys. Vic should add an echo like he's in a cave."
Is
You
this
gotta
what
sound
you
just like
truly desire?
you're gonna sound like an annoying wizard. I feel like.
The dog pulled off his skin, and then he was the scary dog man.
The scary skin dog, man.
Oh, and then he pulled off his skin, and then he took it all off. And then he was,
Why would you now add Alistair here?
Sorry.
Like, it's just like
Sorry.
completely like not even like included, just Alistair coming out of fucking nowhere in the
Well,
middle,
it's clearly something
like
from
in
hell.
the middle of
Okay?
the story.
It's clearly from hell. I'm gonna make
Well,
this guy.
yeah. Well, just imagine like we're animating the whole story, and then suddenly doing the Alistair voice. So now we have to add the Alistair in the middle of the story somewhere.
Look, I've already laughed to this before, like during the story. It's too late. There's no way anyone's gonna animate it.
The fact you also started laughing when he said when the when the urine.
He paid himself. Come on, man.
Wouldn't you pee yourself in that situation?
Well, no shit, Sherlock, but it's funny. Of course I'd piss myself. I just saw a giant 10-foot tall blood man. Vix's brat. Alright, buddy. You're cruising for a bruising.
Oh.
Can I animate it? If you want to. It's gonna be a long, 37-minute long animation. He slowly took off his skin and he was bald!
Well, you know, actually animating wouldn't be like. I actually also thought of maybe I mean, this is the first time we decided to use this trim. Swift said, "Piss baby."
Wow.
Basically, this is the first time we tried out the stream to see how it's gonna go and like if we should continue doing that. Like if I mean we're having fun with it, and
Do you want me to scare the piss out of you? You want me to make you piss yourself? Vixen is 365 bumping. What does that mean? But yeah, I think it was pretty. I had a good time reading it. Like, obviously, I have to learn to not. If I mess up, I have this tendency to go like, "Oops," but I have to learn to just keep going and trudge through it.
Okay, so
Like, oh well.
do you want to see the drawing that I did, Vix?
I do want to see. No, I don't want to see the. No.
I don't know how to send it to you.
Bro.
I can't make a screenshot.
Right when I said that, the music went dong. Fine boom sound effect.
I'm gonna send you just a screenshot from my stream. I'm gonna send it to you, but
All right.
later in a better quality. Well, should we do another one? Should we do one more, chat?
Should we do one more, guys? Do you want to hear another scary story? Do you want to hear another scary story? Do you guys want to hear another scary story? Do you want to listen to another spooky, scary, and/or heartbreaking,
Well, Swift wants another one.
I didn't ask Swift now, did I? A lot of people are saying yes.
Yes. Let's do the other one.
All right. Well, I suppose we can do the other one you sent me.
Yes. Let me see. I'm also gonna open it.
It's really scary, guys, so please hold the piss in. Hold it in. I'm not cleaning up your floor. You can get your parents to do that.
I felt the urine
Scaring the
fall
you.
down my leg.
Piss crawled down my leg. It was alive. That's the scary story. The piss was actually alive. The piss was alive. My throat hurts. I might need to grab a drink.
Oh, sure. Go grab a drink.
Oh, sorry. You the one reading the stories? Didn't think so.
Oh no.
Yeah. There we go.
What was the noise? Oh, that's my noise. Sorry, my bad.
There you go.
Sometimes when I imagine those, like, when you read it and I draw it, my eyes get teary-eyed. My eyes get teary because I
Because
mean
the pee go down your leg.
because I felt the pee go down my leg.
For the
No,
piss reached
but like
down my
it's just
leg.
like I am a fan of horror. However, because it like scares me so much. Mm,
So you're just a pussy.
I am.
I am.
It takes me so much strength to do this.
I have to be so strong.
When you
You
read
don't
some
know my
when you
backstory.
when you read something spooky, I'm like, ah!
No, 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 not the pee, the pee.
The
It
inside hear me
trickled.
is crying just because.
Whoa, wrong color. Oops, still the wrong color. The piss trickled down my leg.
Oh, hold on.
That's good. The fucking vine move sounded like.
Ugh, that's what I mean though. Like I read the text and I imagine what I should draw, and like when I imagine, it's just like I get goosebumps myself. Yeah. Oh,
No, no.
I've been told that nieces can be quite
I drew
expensive.
some
Here's
art on
some
my
money so
stream.
you can
Alright,
get
I'm gonna grab a
something nice
drink.
for
You
her.
guys can just stare at this while I go get it.
thank you, Andrew Kim. Yes, thank you. I am being a single aunt. Yes, thank you. That's a lot
Yeah.
though. Thank you very very much. That's very generous of you. I really appreciate it. I would.
Here we go.
Haven't
Alright, you guys
heard
can look at this. I'm gonna go grab a drink.
haven't heard from you in a while. But glad to hear from you. Also, again, thank you very much. It's very generous. I am planning to go visit my niece this week because my sister is not in a town right now, so my niece is not as busy. So I do think maybe going to an arcade with her or something else. I mean, probably also like sleep. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna let her work with me. Maybe I'm gonna try to do a challenge. I thought maybe she would want to draw on a canvas with me too as well, but we'll see. Hmm. Can you read the thing from the scary story to tell in the dark? Oh, I can. Let me save it just for sure. I actually thought we're gonna change it up sometimes. I thought sometimes we're gonna read stories from Reddit, and actually I made an email for you guys
Uh-oh.
to hold on,
No!
hold on. And I also made like a email for you guys to send your scary stories in it, like if you have some, so that maybe we can read your story and eventually, and like also read it and draw it. But yes,
Oh my
you know what? Actually, let me put a text on my screen quickly so that people can see the email and that you can send your like stuff in there.
I have to restart my stream.
Why?
I accidentally clicked the end stream.
You're a girl. Yes.
What? Brain implodes.
Last time someone on TikTok said you're white. They were so shocked.
Welcome back. Hey, Nirami, can you tell everyone to switch over to my new stream? I
Oh
accidentally
my
just
god, I'm
clicked
sorry.
the.
Hi guys. So basically, Vix accidentally ended his own stream. So if you want, you can go and see his new stream now, so that you can actually hear what he's gonna read.
Sorry. I was like sitting here and I was like, okay. And then I literally, out of any key on my keyboard, I hit in stream. Bro, Vix, you stupid. I know. It's officially spooky season. It's not. It's September. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
No, wait.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm adding the email so people can send their stuff in it.
Oh yeah, oh you like scary stories and stuff to read in the future.
Yeah, I'm putting like the
Ah.
email on the screen.
I just saw what you sent me, by the way. That's me right there.
Oh, what I
Me and
sent
Nala.
you?
Yeah, that's me.
I know.
Wakey, wakey.
Oh, stop that.
Don't be scared, child.
Oh my god, Vic, shut up.
It's me, your dad,
Oh my god, shut up.
with my iconic giant nipple. Are those nipples?
Oh no, those are not. This is supposed to be like the flesh, you know.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna
it just
erase
so
it,
happened
okay?
to be perfectly they just so, they just so happen to be perfectly aligned with where a man's, you know.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna take his.
No,
tits
it's
away.
funny. It's fine.
Now he has only one. Now he has only
no.
one.
Oh, sorry. Vix, say arise. Okay, I'll say arise. Arise. There you
So,
go.
let me
So,
let me
Sorry,
open
my
a
nose
new.
hurts. There we go. I fixed it. This is my horror art, by the way. Mine's a lot less scary. It's just how I imagine everyone else would react if they saw me.
Go on.
Lucky I come kill you. I'm going to now start throwing bricks at Zeus.
No, Appalachia! No! Appalachia! No! All right.
Heaven? That means I'm gonna see Grandpa. No, he's not there.
Yeah.
No, he's not there.
No.
Vix, I thought you streamed into. No, I clicked end stream because I'm kind of a jackass. I was like, oh, I'm back, and I clicked
That's
the
Vix has a
one
YouTube
button.
channel. Yes, in the description
Alright.
box.
Every time Vic says pee or piss, take a drink. To whoever said that, no, you'll die in 30 minutes. Don't do that. I mean, you'll unalive in 30 minutes. Also, I'm just letting you guys know I am finally starting to watch Murder Drones. And I worked on a female voice for or I worked on the male version of Sin, which is like the main antagonist of the last episode. So that's it. Anyways, so that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, my eyes get teary. Go on.
Oh. Connect. Play Classic of 09. I'll check it out. Hey Vic fans, what do y'all think about Nirami fans? Hey, don't, no,
Huh?
no. Someone said, hey Vix fans, how do you feel about Nirami fans? I don't want to know what they're gonna say.
Why are you acting as if my fans are bad?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't want my chat saying that.
Well, why do you think your chat is
Dick.
going sad?
I don't know.
You're already expecting
Goofy.
them to say something mean.
Everyone said they're a fan of both. Okay, we're good. We're good. Why are they trying to start shit? Okay. Let's start getting to the next story, guys. We gotta hurry before my throat gives out. I've been talking yesterday for like 3 hours, and today I'm trying to get it to at least 1. Are you ready?
Let's start.
All right. ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls across the internet. Today, I will be reading a story created by Death by Kool-Aid Man.
Can you make
Great
Black Hat
name.
Scary Story PLS?
The story is called My Family Moved a Lot, and Now I Know What We Were Running From. Now sit back and relax, and please, enjoy the sounds of the story you are going to be read. You never know if it'll truly be the last. At first, I thought it was fun. We lived in an RV and it was like an endless vacation. One week we were in LA, the next we were in Salt Lake City. We didn't know much about our lives before this, but we knew we were born in Portland and that we could never stop moving. We always knew we were a special family. I just guess we didn't know how special we were. My parents tried so hard to have kids and almost lost hope. That's why my twin sister and I were so special to them. They're little miracles. It was so annoying, but at least we knew we meant something to them. Amelia and I were fairly close, as far as siblings go. We were kind of at each other's only friends. That was L. We were kind of each other's only friends. Okay, I'm gonna reread that one in case anyone wants to animate it. Alright. Amelia and I were fairly close. As far as siblings go, we were kind of each other's only friends. Since we were homeschooled, we felt pretty isolated. We never set up camp anywhere fun. No KOA campgrounds with ice cream shops and swimming pools. Always driving off-road and living deep in the woods. I guess it was peaceful in a way, but anyone who grew up near the woods understands it's not something you mess with. The first time I really personally realized something was up was just before our 7th birthday. When we were staying in a place in BC called Kamloops, we weren't supposed to sneak out or leave our mom and dad's sight. But at the time, we were mischievous 6-year-olds with a huge unexplored forest in front of us. What do you expect? We waited until they fell asleep for the night and snuck out of the RV through the window, which was easy because the window was just a sheet of plastic held together by a zipper. And we set off. Nothing but a shitty lantern to illuminate the path in front of us. It wasn't long before we saw something strange. A glow. Not from our lantern, it was coming from in front of us. It didn't take long for us to see who or what was in front of us. It was a lady, holding a small homemade torch, but she didn't look much like a lady. Her hair was matted and fallen out in some places. Her skin was almost blue and looked rotted. Her teeth were yellow and a few were missing, and I thought you could even see a part of her jaw. She was wearing a dirty hospital gown. I didn't know where the nearest hospital was, but it had to be pretty damn far because the last time I remember driving anywhere with a paved road had to be 3 hours before we set up our camp here. Amelia and I were frozen in fear, and for the first time since we had mutually decided affection towards siblings was lame, I reached for her hand. That thing reached out its bony arm to us, and it moaned something almost indecipherable. Like, mother. That was enough to snap me out of it, and I sprinted away, dragging Amelia behind me. By some miracle, we had made it back to the RV, and by some other miracle, got back without waking our parents. Ugh. We didn't get much sleep, and were too far shaken up to even say good morning to our parents, let alone tell them what happened. Would they have even believed us if we told them? Well, after what happened next, I guess they would have to. When we opened the door to the RV, we saw that the remains of what had been left overnight, a campfire reduced to ashes, the sticks covered in charcoal Amelia and I had used to draw on the rocks and make a makeshift table with a few cans of beans, had been utterly destroyed. It wasn't too out of the ordinary to have our camp ravished by animals. We lived in the woods after all, but this was something no animal could do. This looked set up, like whatever did it had a plan. What we saw written on the back of the RV confirmed this belief. In the charcoal sticks, someone had written, "You can't run forever," on our trailer. Mom made us breakfast while Dad cleaned up the mess. We left shortly after that and drove for hours, not even stopping for quick washroom breaks. Mom and Dad spoke in hushed whispers as Dad drove, and I wish I knew what they had been talking about. That night, I guess because Mom and Dad could see we were shaken up, they took us for a rare treat, a dinner at a real restaurant. A shitty diner, but a restaurant nonetheless. It was empty there, which was why my parents liked it, as they hated crowds. I was over the moon. A root beer float and a greasy cheeseburger was anything a 6-year-old boy could dream of, which was why I was so upset when my mom and dad made us leave the second someone else came in. It was just an old trucker. I didn't get the big deal. While we were in the RV, Amelia asked why we had to leave, while I sulked in my bunk, a glorified shelf. Mom sighed. I suppose you two are almost 7. That's old enough to know. Well, Zachary, Amelia, the reason we had to leave is because we're scared of losing you. Do you remember what happened when you were 4? I had no idea. My memory was never good, but Amelia claimed to remember. We were in Beaverton, not too far from Portland, she said. That when we were 4, we were running around in a field when a big man in camouflage and big boots came up to us and bent down to our level. We're not supposed to talk to strangers, Amelia said. She was always a goody two-shoes. I'm John. Now we're not strangers. What are your names? I'm Zach, and that's my sister Amelia. We're 4, and our birthday's July 26, 2002. I'd apparently said, but I bet Amelia just said I said that to make me look worse. That's when he stopped smiling. He roughly took our hands and started to lead us away. Let's go somewhere fun. Zach and Amelia, I need to take you someplace else. My mom got teary. That's right. If your dad and I hadn't caught you just before you left, we probably would have never seen you again. I took you to someplace safe, and your dad? Well, your dad? I shot that son of a bitch in the leg. Hope he had fun crawling back to his house, he said coldly. Amelia and I shot each other glances. Okay, Dad, I'm going to sleep now, she said, climbing over me to get to her bunk. That night, we stopped somewhere for the night. I forgot where. Probably near the interior of BC or maybe Alberta. I looked out the little plastic window and I saw her. I saw the fucking lady again. She was staring at me and Amelia on our bunk beds, reaching out for us with that same long, bony hand. I rolled over and tried to sleep, but couldn't, knowing she was there. Life continued on like that for a while. Anywhere we'd stop, she'd be there. Washington? There she was. Nevada? You bet your ass. Montana? Better fucking believe it. Amelia and I didn't really explore much anymore. Partially because we were getting older and gradually showing less interest in that sort of thing, but partially because that experience in Kamloops traumatized us both. That didn't stop the lady from trying to get us. Sometimes we'd watch a glimpse of her on the highway as we drove by. Sometimes she'd appear right where the campfire is, stopped illuminating. So we could barely see her. On the rare occasion we went into public to get supplies or food, I could have sworn I caught a glimpse of her in the crowd. Whenever she was around, I always heard that damn cry of hers. Ma-ba-ba. After a while, she stopped scaring me. Well, as much. Everything finally made sense. The day before Amelia and I turned 14, Mom and Dad had left the RV and gave us two a rare couple hours of freedom as they gathered things for our birthday. We weren't parked ridiculously far from civilization, but I'd say a good hour's worth of walking. We weren't that scared. We had lived in the woods long enough to know that as long as you didn't bother the forest, it wouldn't bother you. And the lady in the hospital gown was honestly more of an annoyance than anything else. I'd even go so far as to say we had almost forgotten about her. I was reading, and Amelia was rummaging around the RV for food. I was getting immersed in my book when Amelia shouted out, Zach, come check this out! I rolled my eyes. What could it be? We had lived in this tiny RV for almost 14 years, and I knew it like the back of my hand.
Do
There
neck
was absolutely
exercises.
no nook or cranny I didn't know about. Oh, I guess I was wrong. There, under the driver's seat cushion, Amelia had pulled out, for some reason, a box. It was small and a bit squished from all the years of my dad's ass sitting on it, but we could still tell what it was. Amelia excitedly reached to open it. Inside were papers. Forget about it, Amelia. It's probably just some boring documents for work, I said. But the look of confusion to horror on my sister's face was enough to change my mind. They were documents, but not for work, birth documents for us. But the stated parents weren't ours. I was apparently Zachary Jr., but nobody in my family was named Zachary. I looked at my father's name, Zachary. The mother was someone named Emily. Maybe we were adopted, I suggested. Amelia reached in and pulled out another sheet of paper. She shook her head and held out for the next one for me with a shaky hand. Infants missing from Portland Hospital. July 27th, 2002. Twins Zachary Christopher Clark Jr. and Amelia Emily Clark ongoing search. Anyone with information is to report it to the police immediately. Clark? Christopher? Those weren't our names. Our last names were Brown, and our parents certainly weren't Zachary and Emily. They were Jenny and Kevin. I had a feeling things were going to get worse, and I was right, as Amelia pulled out the third and second to last paper. Portland, mother of two, murdered in hospital. Emily Clark, 27, had recently given birth to twins, now missing. When she was smothered to death in her own hospital bed, police drawing of suspects. We looked at the police drawing. It was obviously not a complete match, but they were basically the only other two faces we had seen in our entire lives. Mom and Dad. CCTV footage shows the two suspects leaving the hospital through a back door with the two infants. Searching is ongoing, and if spotted, do not approach these individuals. Alert the authorities immediately. We were silent as Amelia shakily grabbed the last piece of paper. This was from 2006. We were 4. After an Oregon man allegedly spotted the missing kids and was attacked by the perpetrators, a glimpse of hope is seen in the 4-year-long cold case. Father and husband of the victims, Zachary Clark, shares this message. To my babies, I have no idea where you two are, but I will never let go of hope that one day I will see your beautiful faces again. You may not even know who I am, but that doesn't change anything. Until we meet again, Daddy loves you. We couldn't even say anything. What do you even say to that? We just stood there in silence for a while. Then we heard a banging on the RV. We jumped and looked outside. It was the lady in the hospital gown, closer than ever. We could see her bluish gray skin, her hazel eyes. It kind of looked like Amelia's. "Muh, buh, buh," she moaned. Reaching out for us again, I looked down at the newspaper clipping. It had a picture of the victim on it. I held it up to the window, where she was staring at us. "Muh, buh," she said again. My baby." All this time, she had just wanted her babies. Amelia stepped out of the RV. I was scared at first, but this day couldn't get any crazier, so I followed. "Mama?" she asked, tears in her eyes. "Buh, buh," she said, reaching her bony hand out once again. But she didn't run. She let her touch her face as she gently rubbed her hand across her cheek. She did the same to me, but then pointed in the direction of the nearest town. "Go," she said. "Go? Why?" Amelia asked. "Dad," our mother croaked. Dad, Zachary Sr., was he still alive after all of this time? "We have 2 hours until Mom and Dad." Amelia cut herself off. "They get back. Let's go quick." Although we really didn't have any idea on how to get to the town, we somehow knew, like someone was guiding us. We busted into the sheriff's office, probably looking awful, and first come questioning, then the DNA testing, and then they looked for our parents. and they arrested my parents then. The news stories and interviews. Then we were flown out into a plane, and my first plane ever to Portland to meet our dad. We were quite the story. They called my parents the wretches of the woods. They thought of them as evil witches who stole us and hid us deep in the woods. And I guess they were right in a way. It was weird seeing them behind bars, serving life sentences, because after all, they raised us for nearly 14 years. But that's where they'll stay. No running, no hiding. There's nowhere to hide in a cell. He burst into tears when he saw us. We didn't. It was weird. He was my dad and all, but was he? I mean, I guess I met him when I was like a few hours old, but we just couldn't connect to him. It took a while, but we slowly got used to our new lives. In a house, with a bed and our own rooms, not running from everything or living in the woods. It was peaceful. Although most of the time I ended up sneaking into Amelia's room because after all this time I still couldn't be alone. One time I got a knock on our window, and we both woke up and saw the lady in the hospital gown outside. But she looked happier, less rotten, like she was complete again. Mama? I asked. Could she stay? And I could live with the family I craved? Like she read my mind, she shook her head. I have to go, my babies, she said, reaching her hand out to us through the window as she slowly disappeared into the night. We never saw her again after that. But we always knew she was watching us. But this time, we wouldn't run. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my family moved a lot. Now I know what we were running from. Not really a horror story, but more of like a damn I'm sad now story, but
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I kind of don't want to finish my art anymore, but also my iPad just
And also my
my iPad died.
Oh, you sound so sad. Are you alright?
Well, I in the last like literally the last sentence I got like very sad because like I had like a very like spooky picture in mind and I was working on it, but now it just feel like
Now I feel bad.
yeah.
You're like, oh wait, that wasn't a villain. Oh,
Well, yeah, but the way they describe her is just like, or like the fact when they would drive on a like highway and then they would she's just imagine it's like always whenever you are, doesn't matter where, you always see someone standing in the distance. You know, it's just like you can't.
yeah.
Oh, my headphones died. You can't see them clearly, but like they're there, hiding like on a plain side.
I mean, Lamau, giant evil. Also, hi Harper, welcome back. Thank you for joining back.
Yeah, I
We
cannot
need a
hear you.
podcast of this. It's too good. It's basically a podcast. I mean, yeah. Maybe we can have like live streams and then go into like horror reading podcasts. That'd be kind of funny. It makes me cry. Cry! Cry! I don't like the people from Nirami stream because they're rude. They are not rude. They're like children. No, everyone from Narami's channel is great.
What did I miss?
Oh, nothing, nothing. Vix is scary, someone said. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you for calling me scary. It's your birthday? Happy early birthday. It's actually almost Narami's birthday and my birthday. Narami's going to be turning 32 and I'm going to be turning 22.
Yeah, sure, sure.
The extreme is better. Yeah, no, it's not better. Narami is just as good. You get to look at her, and she is a beautiful lady. Beautiful lady. Me,
Thank
I'm
you.
just a big burly man. So Vix
Uh,
has a preppy voice. All right.
Someone said when you mentioned about asking people in your chat what they think about my chat. Someone in my chat said, "Yeah, people, the Vix's chat hates you because you're always mean to him." I was like, "No, that's not the
Yeah, it's
case."
true.
Sad
She's
Nirami.
cruel.
The Koreans call this financial
I
healing.
don't know why she hates me so
Oh my
much. I'm
god.
always nice to her. I compliment her. And I'm like, oh, you look so wonderful. And she's like, fuck you. You look like a freak. I'm like,
Lies.
damn, okay. No reason to talk anymore.
Thank you, Andrew
But
Kim.
yeah.
I really appreciate it. I can feel I'm being healed mentally, physically, spiritually. Um,
Too many things. Just
yeah.
say you're healed.
No, I have to
Oh,
describe it. Thank you very much, Andrew Kim.
okay. Also, I think for my next stream, I can finally do super chats. So if you guys would like to donate,
Yeah.
you could have your message shown on my screen, and everyone could witness it. I'm sorry I haven't had it for so long. I had to have 3,000 hours worth of watch time. So the more you watch my streams, the closer I can get to having super chats and 1,000 more hours, and I can put ads on my videos. Vix, tell the story of the Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. That's a classic. Nah, it'll be all right.
Inko Demon. I wish you a happy early birthday. Yes, mine is September, but like the 10th of September.
Okay,
I'll be
this is a
20.
criminal message.
I'll be
This is probably the most
25.
criminal thing. Nirami, can I
Hmm.
read this to you?
What is it?
Varys, I'm calling you out. You said Nirami is the goat. Guys, draw Vix pregnant, and shame on him for bullying Nirami.
Who said that?
That's criminal. Don't ever say that again. Ow, I hit my kneecap. Ah, I'm crippled.
No,
Wait, Vix, today
don't
is
say
your
that.
birthday? It's not my birthday today.
Vix's birthday is on the 19th.
Yeah, it's on the 19th, and Nirami's is on the 10th. I'm turning 22, and she's turning 46. So make sure you guys will be there, because she doesn't have much longer to live. I love false rumoring.
Swift, when is your birthday?
Whose birthday?
I think Swift also has a birthday in September.
Everyone's born in September.
But what day?
Jolovic's army, but zombies are right. 46 is wild.
Oh my god, okay, so Swift has a birthday on September 8th.
Oh, it's my brother's birthday too. Sorry, Swift, but my brother's more important than you, so I'm gonna have to go celebrate his birthday. But then I saw the spooky, scary man.
So yes, so yes, did you some of you like should we do it like often reading like horror stuff probably while
You
drawing
what?
it? Hmm?
Oh, you want to draw now?
No, I'm not gonna draw now, but I'm just saying like in the future streams basically.
What was the question?
Nothing.
You simplified?
I just ask people if they like this type of stream.
Guys, chat, do you enjoy scary stories? Do you want more scary stories? They could even be yours, Baka. Well, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'm gonna be quiet. This is terrible.
That's very good.
Sorry.
We're gonna do more of those. So yes, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit bell button.
Make
Does
sure
the
to
story
subscribe, like, hit the bell button, and subscribe.
does the story have to be real? No.
It doesn't have to. If you're good at writing scary stories and you
Listen,
think you
like
can live up
yeah,
to it,
exactly. Like you can. I mean, it depends. When people when people are gonna send me something paranormal, I cannot know if it's true or not because it's like it's a very like topic where you don't know whether you should believe it or not. So I'm just gonna leave it completely up to you. But yeah, you can do that.
la 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 la, you can do that.
Make your own scary story.
Once I was a little boy and I bought this haunted game of Majora Mask.
Okay. Is that
They
the
called
missing
me
Ben?
Ben. Yeah.
Is that the missing
How
Ben
should it?
story?
Yeah, it was missing Ben.
Oh, I remember I was very like I was so scared when I saw the screenshots of missing Ben.
Ben. Ho ho
Bang.
ho! No, Vix, you can't blame it on me. You only have 25 people watching. Ow, my pride! These people are the people that built this channel. Give them respect.
Ben drowned. Ben drowned, was it?
Why did he do that?
He. I don't remember. I think it was about a child who drowned.
Yeah, it's this kid. He owned a game. No one saved him when he drowned, so he haunted his stupid game of
Like,
Majora
it's so
Mask.
silly seeing like the fan art from back then, how people like drew it. You know? Hold on, I'm gonna show you. You know what Ben drowned creepypasta is?
No, I never heard of it. Tell me more.
Yes, okay, so I'm gonna show you the image that was like kind of official, I guess. Where's their Jacksepticeye fan art? Hold on. Where is it? Well, that's the only picture I can find right now. Oh no, I
There you
don't.
go.
What if I download it and then the curse is gonna be.
And then it's real. And then
Yes,
Harry Potter comes out and he
and
eats
then
us.
he's not gonna leave me alone.
Yeah, and then he says, "Ma ba ba." Vix, did you have a creepypasta face? Oh, you're goddamn right I did. I was all about that Slender Man, and I still am.
Oh yeah, he can't progress in the game, so he tries to drown Link. Yeah,
It
it
was a
it did terrify me
butterfly.
too. I think weren't there like also an audio messages like on
Yeah,
the
no, that
disc?
was made later on, though. That was for, like, the celebration of the Ben Drowned story. This is old. I drew something cool for my chat to look at while we talk.
Okay.
What are you guys saying? Is
What's
this cool?
what's the Pinterest OC challenge? What is that?
Someone said for real, don't hate on Vic. Oh, my chat's defending. I love you guys. And don't hate on my chat. These people are beautiful. And don't hate on Nirami's chat. Those people are beautiful.
You keep talking about
Whoa.
hating.
We got a guy who's being toxic in chat. He was saying I can't say anything because I only have 25 viewers, and we were like, "Whoa, you can't say that." These
What?
people are what built the channel. Yeah, I got insulted pretty much.
But why? What did you do say?
I don't know. I guess I existed. I came. I expect these things. It's okay. I honestly forgot the person who said it because I don't remember. Oh, static electricity. Scary face. Actually, let's draw an even scarier face. Stop hitting on Vix. Vix is smart and nice. Yeah, I'm nice as fuck. I hate you, Nirami. I hate you. Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
Get out of my hair! Get out
The
of my
same
hair, man!
guy
Get out of my
who
hair!
was saying the same guy who said the comment about 25 viewers just said play Roblox.
The same guy.
He just comes in. Yeah, he says he's pretty much like fuck you. I hate you. Play Roblox. Okay.
That's why. That's what I mean.
Akira!
Do not take those
Ah!
people seriously.
No, I don't care.
It's rather silly.
It's only the viewers I care about. Don't make fun of my viewers. You're all beautiful people. You all deserve a big forehead slap because of how awesome you are. Don't flip. Okay, hang on. I'll do a flip. Yeah.
Oh no, people.
Yeah.
Someone also called Vex like toxic on my previous stream when we are playing Little Company
What?
because you keep killing me and you don't like you always mean to me.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I I just took the smiling face and I moved the eyes below it and then flipped it upside down. Now it's a sad face. No, I'm not mean to you. I'm always nice.
Yeah,
Well, when we're in private, I say the nicest things ever.
that's true.
See? Also, I guess since everyone's here, well, I mean, we're not really reading scary stories, so I'm gonna turn the music into something a little bit more,
VIX equals cool.
heartwarming.
Yes, Mr. Black, that's true.
So there it is. Don't mind me, guys. Gonna make you guys happy again. There we go. There we go. How's that? And you know what? This background's too dark.
You
Right there.
know, we also should play next time the one Roblox game when you tie together, so you have to.
Oh yeah. This is how it's gonna end up.
Hold on, let me do something before I forget. Why are you drawing, Vic?
No, I gave him a mustache. I meant to make an eyeliner. Nah. My crush's birthday's on September 5th. Oh, that's nice. By the way, why are some of Narami's viewers starting to come into our stream now? I swear they're mean to me. No, Narami's viewers are awesome. If you are coming from Narami's stream to mine, subscribe. I'm not pushing it on you. I'm just telling you to do it. Subscribe, like the streams, both me and Narami's. Give it a notification. You like
Yes,
watching, don't
subscribe
you?
to me and Vix. Yes.
Is it possible to become a mod? Someday. I do want to make a. I'm gonna be working on, or actually, to be fair, I've been working on making a Discord server. I just need to learn how to get the bots in there, and I'm also gonna probably bring a couple of friends of mine. Like I might get Swift. Yeah, Swift. I'm gonna get you to be a mod. You're gonna help me out. But yeah, it'll be fun, and then everyone can
Okay.
talk there, and we'll have a brand new server. And I'll keep my eyes on you because I'm always on Discord. I never get off Discord. I am a Discord moderator. I wear a fedora every day of my life. I don't know how to take it off. I think I glued it on accident. But yeah.
Well, I'm
Thank you,
gonna
Inco
end
Demon.
my stream.
I'll be ending mine as
I
well.
see Swift being in 2 different chats right now. So yes, thank you very much, guys. We're probably gonna do Q&A tomorrow, me with Wix together. So yes. I'm gonna go now. Take care of yourself, okay?
Get out of here.
Get yourself a little treat. And
Yeah, you just heard scary stories, bro. Y'all need to calm down before you piss.
yeah.
Don't let it run down your leg, right?